I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. Kicking off a doubleheader of absolutely fantastic racing tonight with the iRacing Sprint Car Cup coming to you from a bad fast little racetrack down here in Pensacola, Florida. Five Flags Speedway. Mitch Drevnovsky absolutely ran away, or excuse me, Derek Love absolutely ran away with the Silver Crown race last night here. Going to be a little bit different, I think, here with what we see out of this place tonight. Brian Gerster holds the track record in a sprint car. Now, this was a winged variety, but a 13:046. This place is wicked fast. My name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. We're really looking forward to, quite frankly, a big night of racing here as we'll pick up Tracy Petter, who is out on the racetrack, and actually most of the field is out on the racetrack right now for qualifications. Say hello to Sidon and everybody else who's checking in here in the comments early on. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here for just a couple of minutes, or hopefully quite a long while here on a Tuesday night, as it's going to be Hunter Smith heading to the top of the board. 15:084 laps coming in hot and heavy already. Half of this 18-car field has turned a lap, and it's going to be Derek Love to the top of the board, 14.843. Jeffrey Stanton goes even faster, 14.750, 14.75 flat for Jeffrey Stanton. Tracy Petter, lap number one, only good for 15.460. Lap number two for Petter, new quick time, 14.635, 14.635 seconds. Oh, my goodness. Piles of race cars already on the speed charts, as here's Josh Batista getting that number 20 Red Ream Rocket up to speed. On the outlap, Austin Rich Miller, Mitch Drevnovsky, and Jeff Wentz all on the racetrack. Drevnovsky's first lap, 14.546. That's going to be good for 14th quick on the board. Looks like we still have Dylan Vilashinsky. He's going to be the only car that has not yet turned a lap. 15.141. Drevnovsky goes quick time. 14.563. Oh, buddy. 7 cars within about a quarter of a second. Most of the field within about a third of a second. Lap number 2 for Batista, 15.022. That's going to be good for 14th on the board. Austin Rich Miller moves himself up into position number 3 as we'll pick up the 9 of Dylan Vilashinsky. He's going to be the last car to get a lap in here in qualifications. Lap number 1 for Vilashinsky, 15.162. He's 0.6 of a second off, and he is shotgun on the field right now. That's absolutely ridiculous. Lap number 2 for Vilashinsky will be on the board, and it will be good for 16th quick at a 15.027. 50 laps will be the race distance here tonight. And remember, caution laps do not count here in the Silver Crown Cup. Basically what that means is that these drivers are going to have to carry a bunch of fuel on board. While they're all getting out onto the grid, let's take a look at the championship standings entering tonight's race. Mitch Drevnovsky is your points leader, picking up the win 1 week ago, sitting on 173 markers. Austin Rich Miller, Derek Love, Tracy Petter, and Josh Batista will complete the top 5. No surprises, quite frankly, anywhere inside this top 10 in the championship standings. But Now it's time for us to take a look at the starting grid for tonight's race. And let's see, we'll pick up Austin Rich Miller. He's a little bit towards the front. And let's show you tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, the Coors Extra Gold, number 21 of Mitch Dravnovsky, lining up to his outside, the number 1 of Tracy Petter. Only 72,000 separating these two. The Miller High Life, number 5 of Austin Rich Miller. Fantastic paint scheme there, Austin. He's going to line up inside of row number 2. Jeffrey Stanton in the 94 out of Rockwell, North Carolina, will line up to his outside. Row number 3 tonight will have Andrew Bogus out of Michigan alongside of the SSR, number 8 of Bryant Miller. The car will be liveried number 99, but you will see the 8 in your timing and scoring. Derek Love in the Street Side Classics, number 2, will line up inside of row number 4. To his outside will be the number 11 of Jeff Wintz. Todd Taylor out of South Carolina, good looking lid on that machine. TNT Racing on the side of it. Pretty sure it's a different TNT Racing than the one we're going to see coming up here in just a little bit. He's inside of row number 5. The MGS number 16 of John Mount will line up to his outside. Row number 6, Hunter Smith out of Indiana, the Warriors for Peace, number 15, alongside of Derek Dixon. Out of the Mid-South, he will be in car number 6. Row number 7 tonight, Ron Quinzel in the Livestrong, number 14, alongside of Zach Evans in the Me-Fine, number 13, out of the great state of North Carolina. Row number 8, Josh Batista, that Red Ream Rocket, not as far up the lineup as he would have wanted to be tonight. He's going to be lining up alongside of Dylan Vilashinsky. Both of these guys inside the top 10 in points towards the back portion of the field for tonight's race. Final row of the grid will have Dan Smith in the number 17 and Rich Foreman in the number 12. Couple of absolutely fantastic racing photogs back here on the last part of the grid as the pace car is in. Green flag goes there. Dravnovsky gets a great start. We're underway here at Five Flags. Dravnovsky's going to lead lap number 1 off of turn number 4. It's going to be Austin Rich Miller battling with Andrew Bogus. Miller down to the inside. Bogus up on the top side of the racetrack. He's able to clear down to the inside lane. Bogus makes a big run up the outside. A little bit of a connection issue there. He pops right back in. Everybody good to go here towards the front of the field. My goodness, these guys absolutely haul off laps in a very, very big way here. Tracy Petter at a 14.691 sets a new fastest lap of the race on lap number 3. Battle starting to heat up for the race lead. Tracy Petter within a car length of Mitch Dravnovsky. I have to take a look. I don't know if the 500 Sprint Car Tour gets this far down into the south. I vaguely remember them running a handful of races towards the southeast part of the United States, though. Maybe one of the tracks that they still run these things, these wingless 410s, in the real world. Top 2 putting on a very nice battle for us. Andrew Bogus again, seeing a little bit of that connection issue. Bogus going to be way up on the outside as Derek Love comes past. Excuse me, that was the 8th Bryant Miller sliding up the racetrack. Derek Love down to his inside. D-Love up into position number 6. Slide even a little bit further back here. Josh Batista just not making up a ton of ground here. Back in position number 11. Now, last night, he said he was going to aim for the Papa John's billboard in the Silver Crown car. He didn't do that. Did loop it around inside of turns 1 and 2, but made a nice recovery drive back up towards the front of the field. Trying, said he was going to do the same thing tonight. Already lap number 10 very quickly up on the board. It's going to be 41 laps to go. Top 2 have pulled away by about 1 second over third place, Jeffrey Stanton. And at the rate these guys are going, they are going to hit lap traffic here pretty quickly. Lap times last time by for the race leader at a 14.778. And it's about 6 3/4 seconds back to Rich Foreman in position number 18. And these guys are absolutely going to hit some lap traffic here. I'll say fairly quickly. Unless, obviously, you get a caution flag or something like that. Seeing the comment coming in from Sinon, the 500 Court came down south. It wasn't that recently, so, okay. They stand correctly. We got to make that. That needs to become a thing. Pavement sprints, we need to make them great again. Well, they still are. They've always been good, but you know what I mean. Jeffrey Stanton kind of holding his own here in third place. He's now got a 1 second gap over Andrew Bogus in the 4th position. At the front of the field is still sitting at right about a car length between Drevnovsky and Tracy Petter. Mitch Drevnovsky's led all 15, now all 16 laps that we've completed here. The SRX series is cool as a Thursday Night Thunder deal on ESPN. It would be cooler if they ran 410 wingless sprint cars at every one of those shows. When they're on the pavement, run the pavement sprints. When they're on the dirt, run the dirt sprints, wingless. Oh, it would be awesome. Drevnovsky is absolutely right there. Here comes a dive down into turn number 3. Petter having a look, just not quite. Yes, as a support act for the SRX shows. That would be absolutely phenomenal. The only problem with it is they would make the SRX cars look silly. And you would have a very real possibility that one of the sprint car guys would turn around and win both ends of the show. Possibly some trouble here for Josh Batista. Take a look, see if we can see what happened here. Oh, well, that figures. We get the battle for the race lead as soon as I hit the button to go to the replay. Drevnovsky holds the lead, but Petter's going to be right there through 3 and 4. Petter got the lap led the last time by. It's going to be Drevnovsky this time. Sign on. You're not wrong. The SRX cars already look silly. They have Paul Tracy driving one of them. I am not going to disagree there. Lap number 25 is on the board right now. Eddie, very, very quickly, they're going to see the cross flags and be halfway home. Drevnovsky really sends it off at turn number 2 that time. He'll hold on to the race lead and pick up the halfway leader bonus. What that is, I have no idea. It sure sounds good. Slide back a little bit here, pick up Andrew Bogus and Derek Love. Bogus really having some connection issues tonight. That 94 machine just, it's there, it's not, it's there, it's not. In front of Derek Love. And there you see Derek Love down, able to get around. Oh, Bogus, oh my goodness. What a battle here through 3 and 4. Love able to clear the spot. He holds on to it for position number 4. Oh man, that's where the blinking really becomes an issue if you're Derek Love. It's kind of like he's there, all of a sudden he's not, and then you don't know where he's going to reappear. These are not quick little blinks. These are second and a half long disappearances by the 10 of Andrew Bogus. Slide back up to the front because that battle's good. Oh, buddy, hold on, though. Pick up Rich Foreman. This man is on the charge. Up to the 11th position after starting in the 18th position. Josh Batista also up 7. Dylan Vilashinsky up 6. They're your hard chargers today. Rich Foreman absolutely putting on a show here in that Rich Foreman photography number 7. Now we'll go back to the front of the field as it's still Mitch Drevnovsky. He's led 32 of 33 completed laps. Drevnovsky runs a little bit high through 1 and 2 that time, opens up the door for Petter. They're starting to catch this lap traffic too. They're only about a second and change up the road. That time by still Drevnovsky with a race lead. Show these guys are putting on at the front of the field. And now we're starting to get to the point of the race where the tails are going to start to get a little bit happy, a little bit twitchy. I mean, you basically drive this car with the right foot anyway. You steer the car with the right foot. More throttle, more spin is basically what you're going to get. Yeah, there you see a little bit of a bobble there out of Tracy Petter exiting turn number 2 that time. Cost himself about half a car length. They're starting to close in on the 16 at John Mount. Battles throughout the pack have started to settle down ever so slightly. We're going to slide back a little bit here, pick up Dylan Vilashinsky, Derek Dixon, and Rich Foreman. Foreman's starting to close in on Dixon and Vilashinsky pretty darn quickly here. He's going to be up inside the top 10 potentially before this race is over. But we got to get back to the front of the field as it is 10 laps to go here at Five Flags. This race has been going on for, gosh, hardly any time at all. 10 minutes and 6 seconds for us to go 40 laps. And it has been a show between Mitch Drevnovsky and Tracy Petter. Jeffrey Stanton sitting 2.5 seconds back. He would be the beneficiary if something happens to the race leaders. Petter may have a clear at the line that time. It was Drevnovsky. Well, timing his score, he just flipped again. Shows a second lap lead for Tracy Petter. That was as close to a dead heat as you're going to see, but now Drevnovsky fights back on the outside. He reclaims the race lead, puts lap number 41 led for car number 3. 8 to go, and the lap traffic is right there. This may go down as one of the fastest sprint car races we have ever run here on the National Racing Network. So long as they can keep it out of trouble. Oh, they're going to be 3 wide into 3. Petter tries to take advantage. Here's the crossover by Drevnovsky. It was Drevnovsky leading the lap again. These guys have swapped positions a half dozen times in the last 10 laps, and Mitch Drevnovsky has led the lap just about every time. Next up, going to be Ron Quitzel. He clears himself up and out of the way. He'll become the second car 1 lap down here with 5 to go. Petter clear, but not by much. It was only half a car length that time into turn number 1. Drevnovsky almost looked like he may have even clipped the apron with the left side tires of that number 21 machine. It's 2 to go. Now it's going to be the white flag. This time by 1 lap to go here at Five Flags. Does Tracy Petter have anything for Mitch Drevnovsky? Off at turn 2 for the final time. Drevnovsky covers off the low line entry into 3 and 4. Petter's going to have to dive way to the inside. Quick checkers in the air. Mitch Drevnovsky gets the win at Five Flags. What a show taking all of 12 minutes and 32 seconds to complete. It's Drevnovsky, Petter, and Stanton up on the podium. That's ridiculous. Oh my goodness, what a show. And get you a look at Mitch Drevnovsky, your race winner here tonight. Whew, get your breath. We got a little time here. Let's take a look at our race results. After 54 laps, it was 64 thousandths of a second for Mitch Drevnovsky over Tracy Petter. Jeffrey Stanton rounding out the podium in position number 3. Derek Love and Austin Rich Miller complete the top 5. Good battle there between Miller and Bogus down to the finish as well. Andrew Bogus coming home 6th, followed by Bryant Miller, Josh Batista, Dylan Vilashinsky, and Rich Foreman putting that number 12 machine up inside the top 10. 11 through 18 tonight, Derek Dixon, Dan Smith. Another good drive there for Dan Smith as well. He was up 5. Jeff Wentz coming home 13th, 14th to Hunter Smith. Todd Taylor in 15th, Zach Evans in 16th. John Mount and Ron Quinzel both finishing 1 lap down. 18 cars started, 18 cars finished. No contact, no yellows. Like we said, 12 minutes and 32 seconds to complete this race tonight. That was absolutely fantastic. Let's bring up our race winner tonight, Mitch Drevnovsky. And my goodness, man, I don't even know where to start with this one. The battle you and Tracy put on was so phenomenally incredible. What was it like behind the wheel for you? Congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It was, I don't know, I kind of feel the same way. I don't have a word to describe it. It was hectic and nerve-wracking. I think he was a little bit quicker than me, but I just kind of knew if he got ahead of me and got clear, it was going to be really hard to run him down without a yellow. And obviously we went green the whole way, so I figured, we might not get one, so I'm going to have to either rip this top and stay out there or cross him up. And we kind of just battled at least from halfway on all the way to the checkered, just like that, and it was a lot of fun.
Is when you're battling that hard in a race that goes by that quickly, do you even notice things like changes in the setup that happen over the course of the race?
A little bit. I think that I just could notice he was a little bit quicker at the end, so I kind of noticed I was getting a little bit tighter than him, but that could just come down to how the pace was in the beginning. I was probably going a little bit harder than he was, and he did a little bit better on his stuff, saving it. But once we got to battling like that, it wasn't really think of anything else but just try to keep this lead and keep this thing straight without wrecking both of us.
Yeah, I mean, gosh almighty, a great show here tonight. And then next week we head off to what I would call a similar-ish kind of racetrack, heading to Southern National. Got to feel pretty confident in that one with how good the car was here tonight.
Yeah, we've been on a good roll here recently. Still fighting a little bit snug in some of the sets, but Southern National, I'm all right there. Not one of my better tracks. I know Tracy's really good there, so he'd probably be the guy to look out for. He would probably be my pick to win it, but we're gonna go back to the shop and try to see what we can come up with for Southern National and try to get a win there.
Well, there you go, man. Congratulations on a big win here tonight. Absolutely fantastic show. Thank you so much for it. And before we let you go, do all the sponsor plugs and shout outs you want to get in here too.
Yeah, I want to thank all the guys at EPI, everyone showing up, doing the race. We got a split tonight, which is good. It's good to see more people coming and running, and we went 50 green here, so we had a real good group of guys in this one tonight. I'll have to go take a peek at how the bottom split went, but of course I want to thank you guys too, because probably without you guys we wouldn't have got that split, and it's cool to see a bunch of people showing up, and they're probably seeing the streams and saying, hey, I want to try that out, so it's good to see that.
I'll tell you what, this is one of my favorite series to broadcast. We're trying to work out our Tuesday night league so we can keep doing these things year round. Mitch, congratulations on the win. Thank you again very much for coming up to hang out in the booth with us here for just a couple of minutes. And man alive, see, this is why we need to get these shows on the air week in and week out. Now let's bring up our second place finisher into the booth, Mr. Tracy Petter. And I tell you what, Tracy, I think I had to count up to 8 or 10 different times tonight. You had that number one in front, and you only led 2 laps. How does that happen? How much fun is that battle with Mitch like that?
Oh, that was an insane race. It was a ton of fun. Every time I'd get under, I think I would get under most of the time off of 4. And then you just do a crossover, get back under, and I kept trying to do a crossover back, and I just never was able to clear him and be able to get away. I think I was a little bit quicker towards the end. I was all over him. He was just doing really well at defending.
Yeah, is that one of those things that with just kind of how narrow this place can run in these cars, is it tough? I mean, the pass itself is not tough, but making it stick and getting out in front, I would imagine that's probably the biggest struggle you have.
Yeah, so it was easy to kind of get a little bit clear of him off of 2, but going into 3, if he held my outside, he'd pinch me really tight, and my car would get tight, so I was forced to wait a long time until I got on throttle, and that's how he was getting clear of me a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic show tonight. Congratulations on the podium. And before we let you go, do any of those sponsor plugs and shout outs you want to get in here too, brother?
Well, first off, thanks for broadcasting us. And shout out to EPI.
All right, man. Well, thank you much. I appreciate the kind words. We got to do more of these. That's for darn sure. That's Tracy Petter, your runner-up finisher here tonight. And now let's see. Well, first we'll get the car flipped over to him so we can see him, and then we'll bring him up into the booth with us. Guy that I think this is the most we've shown his car all night long. 3rd place, Jeffrey Stanton. Man, you were kind of on an island all to yourself here. The leaders are fighting like cats and dogs. Your car looked like it must have been pretty darn good to be able to gap Derek the way you did. Talk us through your night a little bit, because the car looked good.
I'm just glad I can get a clean race in tonight on broadcast. After last week, part of it was my own fault, but I'm just glad I can get a clean race in tonight.
Yeah, it was
the car handled pretty good. I mean, it was a curveball for everybody though. Everyone was practicing in like 10-degree warmer track temp before the race, and then it dumped. So it threw everybody a curveball.
And how quickly, I mean, you only get, 3 minutes of practice or something like that. I guess you have to just be on top of the adjustment and know what you have to change when you see that track temperature drop 10, 11 degrees the way we saw it tonight.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, for most everybody's probably only making very tiny adjustments just to tighten it up, probably, just so it ain't a death trap on cold tires. That maybe gear if you're running like a really high gear, but I mean, for me, I only pump tires up 1 pound on the left sides and just sent it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate the show, man. It was a darn good one here tonight. A lot of battles throughout the field. Man, I'm really excited to be back and being able to talk to you here on a Tuesday night. Jeffrey, congratulations on the 3rd place finish. And before we let you go, do all the sponsor plugs and shout outs here too.
First off, I'd like to thank Napa Rockwell and then you guys for broadcasting. This is awesome to see you guys back.
Well, thank you much, sir. I appreciate the kind words from you there. And oh my goodness, I mean, God, a race that takes 12.5 minutes is always going to be a good one. There's just no way around it. That means you went clean and green and everybody was quick. But this was an absolutely knockdown, drag-out battle at the front of the field, and we saw quite a few fights throughout the field as well. We gave the shout-out to Rich Foreman and Dan Smith driving their way forward a little bit. Austin Rich Miller, Andrew Bogus, Bryant Miller, Derek Love. Those guys were absolutely all over each other all night long. It tells you how good the field is here. Jeffrey Stanton is the low man inside. I'm sorry, Austin Rich Miller was the low man inside the top 5 in terms of I rating at a 43.85. Average I rating of your top 2 finishers tonight about 7,600, which is just incredible. 7,006 for Mitch Drevnovsky and an 8,200 for Tracy Petter. So much talent in these cars. I'm just thrilled that they're back on the NRN airwaves. But now we got to go get ready to crown a champion in the TNT Shock Series. That's going to be coming up at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll make it 2:30 a.m. if you're over on the GMT side of things. And I don't know, you can do the rest of the time calculations and stuff, but something like 1:30 in the afternoon if you're watching us from Australia. Anyway, we're looking forward to that one coming up here. James Watson is very, very tight ahead of West Shire in the TNT Shock Series points. A champion will be crowned in that series tonight, and you'll be able to see it coming up right here at 9:30. You don't want to miss any of that. Tomorrow night, we're going to crown another champion for the Sim Racers Club, SimSpeedShop.com Premier Series, and their Mint Mortgage fall season. Braden Carroll has a not much of an advantage over Johnny Avila as they take the NASCAR Next Gen cars off to Phoenix Raceway. That race will be coming up tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then a new venue for the National Racing Network here on Thursday night. That will be the USF Pro Cars, the old Indy Pro 2000 Championship, coming to you from Circuit Zandvoort over in the Netherlands. That place is so cool. You do not want to miss that show either. But we're going to go get ready to get the Shock guys on the air. They're already in session and practicing. Don't go anywhere. The stream will kick you right over. We'll be back in about an hour. You are watching an iRacing doubleheader right here on the National Racing Network.